What's up guys, Caleb here, and today we're actually going to be reviewing the LEGO Ideas Winnie the Pooh set. The set has 1,265 pieces, and it's going to retail for $100 in the United States. Hopefully in this review we can clear up if that sort of steep price point is worth it or not. You got the Winnie the Pooh logo sort of on the top right corner on the box, as well as the Ideas number. It's the 34th Ideas set, and I really like what they did with the box art with this sort of sketched like railing background. Minifigs are actually shown walking across the top of the box, which does look really neat, and on the back of the box it shows sort of what's inside of the actual house, and it's just overall really cool box art. A quick thank you to my brother Sam for letting me borrow this set for review. His channel link will be down in the description, so make sure to go check that out. The set does include 5 exclusive Winnie the Pooh minifigs, well 4 minifigs and 1 Eeyore figure, and honestly it's just an incredible figure selection here, so let's take a look at that. First off, we have the one, the only Winnie the Pooh himself. He looks pretty good. I do really like this balloon design that they gave him. It's just a really cool looking Lego balloon. I think the custom head mold that they made for Winnie does look pretty good, but my biggest flaw is sort of where his chest is. I get what they were trying to do, sort of make him look a little bit thicker, but they're 2 slightly different colors of yellow, and it creates this really awkward gap between his chest and his legs, which you can see on the back too. It just does not look amazing to me, that part of Winnie. I don't know. Next up, we got Piglet, who I do think is a very cool looking figure. Again, with the custom molded headpiece, just looks absolutely excellent, and her scarf. I like the chest printing too, as well as the short legs, and overall I just think they nailed the look of Piglet. Tigger, however, is my favorite figure in the set. I just think they nailed Tigger. I love the bag on the stick that he has there. Again, he's got the custom head mold, as well as just a ton of printing. Like, he's got arm printing, leg printing, chest printing, even printing on the back of his tail. Like, they went all out with Tigger. It also sure reminds me a lot of Chester Cheeto. Like, it's the closest thing we'll ever get to Chester Cheeto in Lego, and so yeah, it's just the coolest figure in the set by far in me. I also include a rabbit, which I honestly didn't know was in Winnie the Pooh. He's got a carrot piece. I also do really like the sort of bright yellow color that they gave the rabbit, and it's a pretty good figure. He's even got a little tail on the back. I just honestly don't remember it from Winnie the Pooh, so you know, it's okay to me because I don't really remember it at all. Eeyore is another just straight up awesome figure though. I mean, it's a custom mold that they made for him, and he's even got a little bow on his tail, and you can see there's actually studs on the bottom, or room for studs to connect to him. So yeah, it's just really cool to get a custom Eeyore piece for the set. So Winnie the Pooh's very bad printing aside, I do think it's one of the best, you know, minifig selections you can get in a set that's, you know, $100 these days. I mean, they're all pretty much just excellent figures. But also included in the set is a tiny book that actually has Winnie the Pooh floating away on his balloon, as well as Ben A. I'm not really sure whose initials those are. Maybe the designer. That would be cool. There's also a very rustic, nice looking sign with a honey pot that says 100 Acre Wood, and that is a nice little inclusion to have on the side of the actual build. If the 5 minifigs and their accessories weren't enough, included is Winnie the Pooh's house in the 100 Acre Wood, and honestly, it just looks absolutely incredible. Like, it's just a beautiful looking build to me. The build kind of consists of 2 parts, being the house near the back and the giant tree and the bit of yard in the front, and they just blend together very well as far as like the colors go. And even if you're not into Winnie the Pooh, it's undeniably just a really good display set for having, you know, a big tree and a cabin. Like, if you wanted this in your Lego forest or something, I think it would work pretty well. Start off on the front yard area, where we have a very nice little campfire build. Like, it's one of the better campfire builds I've seen from Lego, as well as a pretty big log, and there's actually some studs on the top there, so you are able to place down a figure to be over the fire, which I do think is pretty cool. There's also a pot of honey and even a smaller jug of honey. We'll see a lot of honey in this set, as well as some little mushrooms, and I do think it's a pretty neat looking mushroom build, just sort of at the base of the build. I like what they did, sort of creating stepping stones up to the door, which says Mr. Sanders on it. I'm not honestly sure who that is, as well as a ring, also a little doorbell there, which is a nice little inclusion. The door can obviously also be opened pretty easily, and I will show you the interior in just a minute here. This side of the trunk of the tree just looks really good, with this sort of big grassy like rock or something maybe, as well as a little snail build there, which I honestly didn't notice until I had the set in hand, and it's just a really neat little inclusion. The trunk looks even cooler from the right side, whereas this massive root going right into the ground there, and that's just such a cool little build with the curve that it has. Just looks awesome. It's definitely one of the better looking tree builds from Lego as far as the amount of leaves goes. Oftentimes when Lego says there won't be that many leaves on trees, and they did not skimp out at all here, using a variety of really cool parts like green coral, which I never thought I'd see in a Lego tree. My favorite part of the tree has to be the tiny beehives actually included up in the branches, with tiny little printed bee pieces, which is just awesome. These can actually be spun around, which is cool, but they're a little bit hard to get to if you have bigger fingers, so that's a bit of a pain, but there's also a smaller beehive down there, and overall I just think it's an awesome inclusion for the set. Winnie the Pooh's house is right on the back of the tree, and honestly I think this looks just as good. I especially like the windows and the little flowers that they put on the side there, and this is basically the same on the other side, although there is a tiny printed ladybug on the bottom of one of the flower pots, and that's just a neat little inclusion. It's also got one of the coolest looking Lego roofs that I've ever seen. I love the little chimney on top, and there's a fair amount of leaves that are just sort of falling on there. And I love all the different shades of red cheese slopes that they've used for the roof. It just makes a really cool like shingled texture. Gaining access to the interior is fairly simple. All you have to do is sort of pull apart the walls, and the whole thing is opened up for you to access the incredible inside of the set, which is just as good as the outside to me. There's a very small furnace in the corner of one end of the house, and what I really like about this is the chimney actually leads sort of, it makes it look like it leads right through there, even though it doesn't go through the attic. Got a teacup and another pot of honey, this time actually filled with honey inside, which is dope. And there's also a little blue chair, which I just think is an awesome looking little build. Like, this just looks so cute and adorable. And as expected, Pooh can fit in his chair quite well, and he looks just really great in there. The attic above this section has a little golden heart as well as a box of Pooh sticks, which is a reference that has just gone over my head. I don't know what Pooh sticks is, but I'm sure it's in the show or movie or whatever. Next up is a little entry room where the door is. As mentioned before, obviously the door can open up to give you access to walk your fingers through there if you want to. There is a mirror as well as an umbrella and an umbrella holder sort of in the corner there, and you can actually make Pooh like look at his reflection, which is sort of a recreation of that scene. That's like the only Winnie the Pooh scene I know for some reason, so you can make him do that, which is neat. The other side of the entryway has a little dresser with some teapots as well as an incredibly detailed map of the 100-acre wood, so that's a really nice little detail to have. Like, I just love how that map looks. Unsurprisingly, we can find some more honey and honey jars up in the other side of the attic, and below that side of the attic we have Winnie the Pooh's bed as well as a little bedside table with a candle and what I think is like some sort of clock, maybe? That's my guess. I do think it's just a really great looking bed build, and I like the curtains on the side there. It just looks really great, and it fits Winnie the Pooh pretty well, so yeah, it's just a great bed. So at the end of the day, should you buy the LEGO Ideas Winnie the Pooh set? I find it hard not to say heck yes, go for it. I mean, this set has just really impressed me with the amount of detail that they've been able to cram in. Clearly not the biggest Winnie the Pooh fan, I don't really know that much about it, but this set is still very impressive to me. Winnie the Pooh's just straight up not very good looking printing, and the bees being a little bit hard to access are pretty much just the two main flaws of this set, so honestly, I'm gonna give it like a 93 out of 100. This is as good as it gets for LEGO the Winnie the Pooh. Like, I don't think you'd regret picking this set up. I think it's pretty fairly priced at $100. I don't think this set is overpriced, so go pick yourself up a Winnie the Pooh Ideas set. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. This is Seaberg Productions. Sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with my latest content here. You can help me at 500 subscribers, which we are only 15 subs away, so we're so close. But yeah, stay safe out there, guys, and peace.